Hey Internet, hey YouTube, this is Nate. You can also call me Nathan, please never call me Nathaniel. And welcome to episode 1 of PaliaWatch. This is a new series I'm starting in anticipation of the upcoming game Palia. So if you have not heard of Palia yet, let me put up the trailer in the background. This was announced just a couple months ago by a new development team called... Oh man, Singularity 6 is the development team. They put out this trailer also as part of their announcement. And again, this has recently become my most anticipated game, not just for me, but also for my wife, for a lot of our friends, and even some of our other family as well. So why has this become so interesting for me? I think a lot of the games that you have seen me play, primarily Monster Train, but other games kind of fit within this deck building genre. But this is more along the lines of, I would say, the original types of games that I used to play as a kid, the type of games that I like to play with my wife, with my family. And so it's kind of like jumped up there with a lot of interest for me. So let me switch over to the website itself. Let's talk a little bit about what is Palia. So Palia, an enchanting world full of mystery. After disappearing thousands of years ago, humans have just begun to reappear across Palia. As one of the newly reemerged humans, you will find your place in the world, uncover the mysteries of humanity's past, or just live a simple life you decide. And this is where you can get the trailer as well. So it's self-described as a little bit of a combination of several popular games, things like Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, mixed with some elements of like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, these kind of MMORPGs, but really focused in on that kind of resource gathering, crafting, and customizing style that you get from some of these more simulation style games. So just, again, going through their website, the gameplay is mostly things like, as I said, resource gathering and crafting, gardening, fishing, cooking. You level up abilities, get new tools, and so on. There is a strong story, they've said, to the game, where you learn about what happened to humans, where did they go. Now that they're back, there's a lot that needs to be done in the world to kind of adjust for humans returning to the world. They did say there's going to be like a friendship with NPCs, that you can get married, they said. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff that you see typical of the genre. And I know it's a little bit blocked off here with my face, but then also social interactions, right? So you can play alone and you can play with other people. This is probably the biggest differentiator between a lot of these other games, like Stardew Valley and like Animal Crossing, where there is some kind of multiplayer element to it, but that multiplayer part is going to be a core of this experience. So well, they did confirm already very early on that you can play this by yourself and that the majority of the content is available in a single player experience. There will be content that is more community social oriented. And what that looks like, I think we'll have to see as more information comes out. But that part of it is really intriguing to me. It's actually one of the things I didn't like about Animal Crossing, why I struggled to get into it to the level that my wife did, is there's really not a lot of like social element other than just visiting each other's islands. And here the promise, or at least the expectation, is that more social play, community driven types of events and activities are going to be available. So moving forward, we can talk some of the big pitches: a cozy world made for you, an explore a vibrant world, uncover hidden truths. So there's, again, a story element. What happened to people? Why are they returning? What about these other races that are in this world? And then even deeper into the individual characters. You can make your home uniquely yours. So similar with like a lot of these games, a lot of customization, so that not every house is going to look the same, not every neighborhood is going to look the same. A lot of it's going to be around how you play and also how the community plays. Find purpose, okay, whatever that means, and inviting your friends to play along the way. That's right. So again, huge emphasis on the social community aspect of the game that's been pushed by the developers. and is really like what is, I think, interesting for a lot of players is this idea of like taking that really fun simulation experience and then putting it into a community. I mean, if you look at like super old school games like RuneScape, right? And all RuneScape had combat and things like that, but a lot of the core was just like mining and fishing and all that kind of stuff. And that then community aspect of RuneScape was kind of cool. You're doing it with a large group of people on a server. That is what's at least super appealing to me. And then immerse yourself in nature. Okay, again, let's see what that means when you get into practice. But like having this whole huge world to explore, and being able to have a lot of this kind of community aspect. So here's the frequently asked questions. We'll run through this and then I'll give a brief epilogue. So Palia is a massively multiplayer community simulation game set in a brand new high fantasy world with elements of open world adventure games. It's a cozy and welcoming world that we hope fans of the community sim genre will love for years to come. Is there a story in Palia? In Palia, humans are the legendary race, having disappeared thousands of years ago at the height of their grandeur and mystery and mastery of magic. Nobody in the modern day knows why, until one day humans begin to appear all over the world. As one of the newly re-emerged humans, you'll have to make yourself a new home in this friendly world and forge a future for yourself and humanity. Palia has a deep, evolving story that we plan on telling with you for years to come. So then talking about more of like the... more details around like when is it coming out, what's happening right now, and so on. So they did say they don't have an announcement date yet. What I've seen tossed around is like early 2022. What's happening right now is that they are testing the game together with user testers. So they put out a request for anyone who wants to join the testing. You can sign up. That's at the bottom of the website here, sign up to test. I did this very early on, and they got overwhelmed with requests. So if you if you go see some of their posts in Discord, and by the way, I would recommend if you are interested in the game, join the Discord. A lot of the information I'm going to be sharing over future episodes of PaliaWatch will come from the Discord and interactions with the developers. But what they already confirmed is that basically 100,000 people or something like that signed up to test, and they had planned on like a testing group of like maybe 1,000. So just overwhelming response from the community toward the game. And so they started with a couple hundred to kind of just get some early testing done. I think they expanded it now to a few thousand, but it's still very early. Like it's early alpha type stuff. So probably as more information comes out, we'll see betas. I expect to see betas probably later this year, where there's a more general release where a lot of people can get in and test. And then, when the game comes out, probably sometime next year. But again, they haven't formally announced anything. That's when, the whole community can jump in and see what the game's like. And with that, that's going to be kind of my summary of Palia so far. As I said, I'm super excited about it. I hope that it lives up to these expectations. At least, I don't expect it to be. I think there's a tendency with games like this, especially new IP, that we overblow what it's going to be able to do. My expectation is kind of that core Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing experience, but then layered into this kind of social experience, community experience. And if it hits that, that's like perfect for me. It doesn't have to do anything crazy like that. And as I said, there's a lot more questions that they've already answered. We'll cover those in future episodes. But for now, this has been Nate. You can also call me Nathan. Please never call me Nathaniel. And I will see you guys in the next episode of PaliaWatch. Thanks for watching.